Get ready for an unfiltered dose of reality straight from the streets. Introducing the Ask a Cop podcast on YouTube. Join Daryll Triplett, a seasoned 30-year vet, and Jeff Plair, a no-nonsense 14-year vet, as they dive deep into law enforcement. They're here to break down barriers and answer your burning questions. Curious? Visit askacop.live. Ask a Cop, every Thursday at 8 p.m. Subscribe now at askacop.live. It's time to Ask a Cop.
Hello, everybody. This is Daryll Triplett. I'm the host of the Ask a Cop show. Many of you are going to be wondering today, where is Jeff Plair? I will tell you this, Jeff is just fine. He put in for some time off. We granted him some time off. I will not be answering any questions when it comes to any person's personal time off. Period, point blank. That's why it's called personal time off. When Jeff returns to work, he will be happy to explain to each and every last one of you what's going on. All right. The man needs some personal time off. We're going to give him some personal time off. Other than that, we have a great show lined up today. So let's get on with the show. Enjoy the show. We got a good one lined up for you today. And ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the Ask a Cop show. I'm your boy, Daryll Triplett. And today we have a very special guest with us, but he's no stranger to the show. Mr. Steven, if I knew your middle name, I'd say it. Turner. What's up, man?
Yes.
Man, Steve is a good friend of the show. Steve's been a prior law enforcement officer for, how long you got under your belt again?
25 years in public safety.
25 years in public safety. Very knowledgeable. If I need a go-to person to go to, this is the man that I'm usually calling, like, Steve, what is this section code number? Steve, what can I charge this guy with? Steve, what's this? What's that? So Steve is a really knowledgeable individual when it comes to law enforcement. Done a very long time. A master in the security arena also. Made a lot of money in the security arena also. But a really good friend of the show. And everybody, we're going to welcome Steve Turner to the show, people. Woo!
Yes.
I need one of those little buzzer things, the little clapping thing.
I think you get out of hand with that. Out of hand. Stop him. Stop him.
Take that damn buzzer from me on that son of a gun.
What the heck is going on?
Oh, man. Okay, everybody. Again, Steve, what have you been up to, man? You good? What's been up?
Yeah, man. Just traveling these hurricane roads.
Yeah, well, you know what? We had the hurricane last weekend, and we ended up canceling the show, as you know. But has that affected your travels? I mean, Steve's a big travel guy also. Has that affected your travel at all?
Thank God I didn't have any travel set up for this time frame, so it's kind of worked out perfect. However, I did have to travel to the hurricane zones, and that was pretty scary. So
wow. So it really did. I think the last time I seen our death toll was up to, I think 25 here in Georgia or something like that.
Oh no, it's more than that.
It's more than that now?
I think total is like 220 now.
Jesus.
Just from what they found, because they haven't been able to find everybody that they're looking for. So there's a lot of places that still have no communication. It's muddy.
Yeah.
You know, people are just stuck. So
yeah.
Can't go anywhere.
I mean, that's why I said, man, we weren't taking no chances. And when we got the alerts and they were saying that it's going to hit North Georgia, which is where our studios are in North Georgia, I was like, oh no, shut it down, because y'all never hear me, Daryll, screaming like a woman in here, talking about give me a life jacket. So
it was just when I tell you it's bad. From south of here to north of here to east of here. I went to 3 different cities.
Where did you go?
So far this week. So first I went to Vidalia.
Georgia.
Vidalia, whatever you say. But when I got down there, pitch black, trees all over the road. I mean, literally everywhere. Power lines down, transistors smashed into pieces. Like smashed. Like you would not even recognize that they were transistors, beside the fact that they were sitting beside the light poles.
Damn.
And it was bad, man. I was scared that some of those trees was going to continue to fall down on me. I had to drive over power lines. It was just bad. When I got to the place where I needed to be, no reception. Damn. Reception was just horrible.
So all the cell phone towers out, everything's out.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess unless you had certain ones, some people were getting spotty messages. But other than that, it was very bad. And then Augusta. Augusta, I saw a whole intersection of street lights gone. Like the street lights were just knocked off the wires. Like the wind had blew them off the wire down the road.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's pretty bad. So, and they have same issues, spotty service and a lot of pitch black areas still today. So
I thank God that us that survived, and Godspeed and rest in peace to those who wasn't able to make it through this. But a lot of people thought this was just going to be a quickie and not a really have any teeth to it.
Yeah.
But it turned out to have some real teeth to it. And they kept warning us that, hey, shelter in place, get away from the waters, all that other good stuff. And man, I mean, I'm gonna tell you, I was a little worried. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I was too. And the bad part is they told people to only expect like 50 to 75 mile per hour winds, which are still strong, but not as bad as what actually happened.
How many? What did the windage get up to?
So it said it got up to 129 going through both Vidalia and Augusta. And if I'm saying that wrong, I apologize.
Man.
Vidalia.
We love you, Vidalia, and we're sorry you guys got hit. And Godspeed to you guys in your speedy recovery, and hopefully you guys rebuild, which I know you are, because we're a state of resilience. And just like the Phoenix from Atlanta coming up from the ash, that's how you guys will come to. So anyway, folks, today we have a very good show lined up for you. What we were going to talk about last week, we're talking about this week. And but before we dive into what we're going to talk about, again, I did another sat on another panel at News Nation last week, and one of the panelists, well, I'm not going to say were arguing with me, but they were debating with me.
They pretty much were.
Right. Yeah. They were strongly debating with me. Right. She called me a liar, man. She just basically called me a liar, and she said that crime is down for the lowest in 50 years. I said, "Are you crazy? Are you crazy, woman and man?" I said, crime is nowhere near down. Crime is out of control. And then they went back and said, no, basically that numbers don't lie, but people lie. Come on now. Numbers do lie, because who's putting the numbers on the paper are the people. And then you got these states that are not reporting, and they keep saying crime is down, crime is down, crime is down. So the next segment of the show, of course, 4 more brave heroes who have lost their life in the line of duty. We've got to take 1 minute out of our show and give them respect for their RIP for these officers who have fallen in the line of duty. But remember, crime is down per Kamala Harris's people. 1 minute of silence. Okay, folks. Again, we will acknowledge those fallen comrades of ours, and we will continue to acknowledge them. I'm going to scoot in just a little bit here on this thing here. You want to scoot in just a little bit for me so we're evened up here? I took a bath today, I promise. But remember, people, we're going to always give tribute to our fallen heroes, because these guys, that was just in September. Just in September, 4 officers gunned down like that, just in September. But remember, crime is down. No, crime is not down. Crime is out of control. So I want to thank everybody for, hey, how's everybody? Y'all come on in. Everybody like and share the link. Yes, Senko, I see you. I see you. I see you. I see you. Gutbox, I see you. Ramsey Expert, I see you. I see you guys. I'm glad you guys are back. We had to take last week off because of the hurricane, but we are back stronger than ever right now. We're asking that everybody like and subscribe. Yes, may their souls rest in peace. Those 4 officers are nothing more than heroes. Nothing more than heroes. And I will always echo that, and we're going to always give officers and people who die in the line of duty respect on this show. The name of the show today is Shoot, Don't Shoot, and Killer Kids. Shoot, Don't Shoot, and Killer Kids. I keep telling y'all, you guys will not have any reason to ever say you don't know when it comes to law enforcement encounters or shooting or not shooting or anything like that, because we are going to cover it. This is our 14th episode. 14th, 1 through 14. If you could believe it or not, they still haven't taken us down yet. So, so people, I'd like you guys just to follow, share that link, tell your friends about it, because I'm telling you, everybody says, yeah, welcome back, brother, welcome back. I see you guys coming on in here. Everybody thinks that everything's all good until you need something like this. And then you're saying, you know, hey, what did Daryl, what did Steve say? What did Jeff say? Blah, 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 blah. Now you're trying to think about it and all this other stuff. If you'd have tuned into the show, you'd have known all the while what we were saying, because we're going to give you the facts. We're going to give you OCGA code sections, what you can do, what you can't do. Now, I got to have a disclaimer that we're not attorneys, but Steve has been in law enforcement for more than 25 years. I've been in more law enforcement for over 30 years. So trust me, I think we know what we're talking about just a little bit here, okay?
I still have people arguing with me.
Right.
I had a guy argue with me this week down in the hurricane. So
about what?
About security houses that can make arrests. Listen, brother. I locked up thousands of people as security and as police. Don't argue loud with me. I've been teaching it 20 years.
Right. And you know, the thing is, some people like to argue, even coming on here. That's why some reasons we won't even address some of the things that people be saying, stuff like that, because some people just want to argue. Yeah. And also, I want to tell you guys also, like and subscribe. And on these links, we have the merch section up here now to where you guys can get your Ask a Cop t-shirts. We just got some of these in. So these are the official Ask a Cop t-shirts. They come in blue, they come in black, they come in red, maroon, all this other good stuff. So if you like the t-shirts, you want to support the show, there's a QR code down here on your left, I guess on you guys' left down here in the box there, and click the QR codes. And our producers will be putting different items up that we have also. So we have some mugs, we have all types of stuff. So
I'm Steve, by the way. He says what my name was.
Oh, this is Steve over here. So if you see, once they take the other, when we come back from our commercial break, from our first commercial break, this is Steve Turner, good friend of the show, over 25 years in law enforcement and security realm. Like and subscribe. The name of the show today is Shoot, Don't Shoot, and Killer Kids. What happens when kids kill? And how do we address this as officers? Because believe me, when we've talked about this before, that not only do dramatic encounters of killer kids affect the parents, they also affect the officers. Because a lot of times you guys are calling 911, and then now it becomes my problem when I walk in that door. Because once I get there, I can't just turn and just leave. Because if that kid kills you or you kill that kid, then we're liable for it.
And the reality is, a lot of people don't have the mental psyche to perform such a task anyway.
That's right.
Yeah, even police officers.
That's right.
Don't think that they're superhuman or superheroes.
That's right.
When they walk in and see something like that and they have to make a decision. A lot of them may not be able to make a decision based on your human psyche. It's just hard to react to a child no matter what.
No matter what it is. And when we've talked about the school shootings also, it's very difficult to take a child's life even when that child is causing mass destructive like that. Nobody wants to go in there and just shoot a kid, right? Nobody. That's not that's on anybody's agenda for today is. Does it happen? Do you have to do it sometimes? Absolutely. Do we want to do it? Absolutely not. All right. So you guys stay tuned. Oh, wow. We're up to 3,658 streams so far. 3,658. Thank you guys. Like and subscribe, like and share. Also, if you can't get us on YouTube, you can always reach us at askacop.live. Askacop.live. You can leave your comments there, all that other good stuff. But right now, we got to take a quick station break, and we got to pay some bills real quick with our sponsor, Tallman Pools. We will be right back in just a few seconds. Don't turn that dial. We'll be right back, or don't click off, whatever. We'll be back.
With over 50 years of experience and a perfected 100% American-made manufacturing process, Tallman Pools sets the standard for excellence in fiberglass pools, spas, and tanning ledges. That's right, our pools aren't just pools, they're works of art. Meticulously crafted to bring beauty, relaxation, and endless enjoyment to your backyard. And when it comes to quality, Tallman Pools doesn't cut corners. Ready to take the plunge? Contact Tallman Pools today at 770-478-2257 or shoot us an email at contactus@tallmanpools.com. Visit us at 8993 Tara Boulevard, Jonesboro, Georgia 30236. Tallman Pools, where luxury meets craftsmanship.
This ain't it, right? Scenario one?
No. Okay, everybody, we are back. I'm your boy, Daryll Triplett. This is your boy, Steve Turner. We are back on the Ask a Cop show. Our topic today is killer kids and shoot and don't shoot. All right. So you guys know how this goes. And today we are going to have our producer help us out a little bit here because it's been a hell of a week for me. And I forgot to print off the game show trivia questions. So our producer is going to help us reading the questions to the game show. But still, nonetheless, they're very good. They'll be up on the screen also. Okay, go ahead and bring up the game show here. For the first one is, all right, let's do this. Winner of this thing here gets a free t-shirt. Don't forget, guys, free t-shirts. Yes, nice to be back. Thank you so much. Okay, go ahead with the first trivia question. Okay.
Small.
Oh boy, that's small. Hold on, let me see something here. Okay, hold on a minute. Hold on. We gotta do this, y'all. We gotta do this. All right. Okay. All right. First trivia question is, what is the difference between police officers and sheriffs? What's the difference between police officers and sheriffs? Two different things. A, police officers are elected while sheriffs is appointed. B, police officers typically serve within a city while sheriffs have jurisdiction all over the county. C, there's no difference. What do y'all think? A, B, or C? I'll read them to you one more time. What's the difference between police officers and sheriffs? A, police officers are elected while sheriffs are appointed. What do we got? We got B. What was that, a B up there? Okay, I see a B up there. Come on, guys.
Eden with the B.
Eden with the B. All right. B. Police officers are typically served within the city while sheriffs has jurisdiction countywide. There's no difference. What do you guys think?
Desiree back.
Desiree, my favorite person in the whole world. What did she say?
B.
She said B. Desiree said B. All right, A, B, or C, guys. Which one do y'all think? And West Mag is back. West Mag is in the house. I see you, West Mag. I'm surprised you ain't saying nothing, West Mag. What is it, A, B, or C? Brad Corey says B. Parable says C. All right. Which one do y'all think it is? We're going to give you just a few more seconds, and we're going to go to the real answer. All right. Somebody said B.
Got a lot of B's out
Ramsey,
there.
everybody got the B's out there. What is this? What do y'all think? Y'all know something out there or something?
They know a
They know a little
science.
something. They've been watching the show. Is this what are we educating?
On their phone.
Right. Y'all better not be Googling this stuff. Y'all better not be Googling. Okay, all right. And let me get a drum roll, please. The correct answer is B. A police officer typically serves within a city, while sheriff has jurisdiction countywide. Now, does that mean a police officer cannot? Who's our winner, by the way? Put our winner up, please, producer. Who was our first winner? Eden was our first winner. Eden, stay with us, because at the end of these slides, we're going to show you how to get your free t-shirt, Eden. Thank you. You're the winner of that. So someone said, hey, they're still coming in. So the main difference between police and sheriffs is basically your police are answering the 911 calls generally. In some jurisdictions, like where we are in Forsyth County, the sheriff's office handles the jails, the courts, and answer 911. So you got some counties that have full service sheriff's office.
And let's not be mistaken, they still have city police inside the jurisdictions that handle some of their area.
Right.
But they're still what's considered a full service sheriff department.
Correct. That means they answer 911 calls, they take traffic accidents, stuff like that, but they're also responsible for courts, jails, serving writs, evictions, all that other good stuff also. Where your police, you're going to really get into just the law enforcement aspect of it, of enforcing laws, answering your 911 calls, taking your traffic accidents, doing your roadblocks and stuff like that, okay?
And they also can still serve warrants.
They can, yes.
Usually it's just for their jurisdiction, or if they've been deputized by a sheriff, will go outside his jurisdiction where they have a known suspect. And most of the time, they will not just go out and serve warrants on addresses that are unknown. It's going to be specific to their charges and their warrants, and a specific location that they know for that person to be at.
Right. And then sometimes they also work with state agencies, feds, stuff like that also. So that's now the realm of possibilities. But for this trivia question here, is talking about city versus county. And then usually your police chiefs and stuff like that, they're usually an employee of the city. In other words, someone hires them. With your sheriff's offices and stuff like that, you're generally going to see, well, not generally, always you're going to see they're a constitutional officer. They're elected by the people, which means nobody can fire them. Period, point blank. Nobody can fire them. That's why I say it's so important when we talk about voting, getting the right person in there that meets your needs and stuff like that. All right. So, all right. Okay. Y'all did a great job on that. I know some of y'all was Googling this though. I know some of y'all was Googling this. Googling this. Okay. All right. So, trivia question number B. Let's go. All right. Go ahead.
Yeah, what is a significant place of police transparency in building community trust? I'm sorry. What is the significance of police transparency in building community trust? First one, A, it says it ensures accountability and fosters public confidence in law enforcement. B, it allows officers to work more independently. Or C, it reduces the need for public relations. Which answer do you guys think? Again, what is the significance of police transparency in building community trust? All right. So said A already.
Someone said A. Okay.
It ensures accountability and fosters public ordinance in law enforcement. Okay. Anybody else?
What do y'all think? Get them in there. Come on now. This is for your free t-shirts. Let's go. Hello.
They're saying hello. They're not really.
They just coming in. All right. What's the significance of police transparency and building community trust? A, it ensures accountability and fosters public confidence in law enforcement. Could be. B, it allows officers to work more independently. C, it reduces the need for public relations. Which one do you think is correct, folks? Y'all out there Googling?
Right.
Out there Googling that stuff.
It'll take a little bit longer to find this question.
Yeah, it's taking a little bit more longer.
This ain't no
Come on now, where y'all at? Someone said A. Desiree said A. Ensures accountability and foster public confidence in law enforcement. Someone else, Ramsey said A. All right. Brad said B. Brad said B.
Desiree fell asleep for us.
Good evening, everyone. Hey. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Come on in here.
Zinazab.
Hey, y'all won't believe this. We're up to 5,186 streams in our streams right now. You guys are wonderful, man. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for loving. It's just so important that we get the message out to everybody. All 5,100 of you. Thank you. Thumbs up to you guys. All right, let's go on and get the answers. Okay. Zin, what? How do you pronounce that? Zinab says A. Okay. All right. Bob Can, we keep learning, bro. Hey, thank you, bro. Thank you. That's what this show is all about. All right. What is the significance of police transparency and building community trust? Okay. Can I get a drum roll, please? Correct answer is, in the survey says,
A. That's right.
It ensures accountability and fosters public confidence and law enforcement is the correct answer. All right.
It was so small.
I know, trying to read it. You got two old men over here trying to read something that small because I forgot to print it out.
Oh, Lord.
The correct answer is A. Producer, who is our winner on that?
I think Bob now, huh? Yeah,
Bob Can. All right. Good job, Bob Can. Good job. I'm going to tell you guys something. Like I said again, these are so important because, hey, you need to know this stuff, man. If you don't know, you don't know. And then we act ignorant, stupid, and then we claim we don't know when you got great shows like this who we telling you. We give you the answers to everything. So, all right. Okay, Bob Can. All right, go on to the next slide, please. If you are the winners, and only if you're the winners, don't be trying to BS us because our producers go back and look and find out before they send these t-shirts out and all this other stuff because it is a cost to the show. Even though we do give them out for free, it's still a cost to the show. They go back and verify. So if you are a contest winner, you've got 5 days to email info@askacop.live. It's real simple. Email us info@askacop.live and we will get your contact information, your address where you want your shirt sent to, and whenever our slow production company prints these shirts off and get them to you, you will have your shirt. Because believe me, we are at odds with our production company right now. Okay. All right. So good job on that. Hey, I really want to tell you guys, I really appreciate you guys, man, because right now we're in the thousands of viewers right now. And this is very important to us. Okay, producer, what else do we have next on the show, on the slides? Okay, so I want to talk to you a little bit about something here, and this is why kids kill. Now, a lot of us think little Johnny would never do this.
He was such a good kid.
He was such a good kid. Let me tell you something. I still sleep with my door locked to today.
Boy.
Okay? I don't trust these kids. I don't trust these kids, Steve-O.
Not a wink.
Not a wink. I sleep with one eye open, one hand on my gun, and my door locked.
Hey,
because
I got fingerprint locks on my door.
They can't get in it.
They ain't get up in there at all.
Okay, so after this here, we're going to get into shoot, don't shoot. We're going to give you some scenarios also. What did Bob Can say? What did he say?
I said Thanksgiving, good work.
Oh, yeah. Okay, good job, buddy. Yeah. So when we're talking about why kids kill, so they just don't wake up one day, I don't believe, and just say, I think I'm going to kill someone today, right? The famous case that I was studying last week during this hurricane thing was the Menendez brothers.
Oh, I've been watching that.
Oh, my God. And they've got a whole season out with this thing, and it really just takes a turn for the worse, man, where I didn't think it was going, but it really took that turn. So when kids kill, understanding the transition from loving children to killers is the name of this slide right here. And I thought it was fitting to get into because we want to explore the parental options and the support programs that they have out there for the kids. I'll take the first one, and then me and Steve usually just bounce off of each other here. Okay. All right. Okay. So understanding the causes. First off, it's a psychological effect. With 70% of youth who commit violent acts, they have mental issues. Now, just because you have mental issues, does that mean you're going to pick up a gun and go out there and start shooting your parents and stuff like that? Absolutely, positively not. There's a lot of kids who need to talk to people and stuff like that who don't do that.
Not according to Governor Walsh.
Well, not according to Governor.
Not everybody with mental problems killing folks.
Right. Trauma exposure, and it increases the risk by 3. So when you were talking about, so one thing I figured out with the Menendez case was that I just thought they were just a couple of rich, spoiled brats who didn't get their way and just went and bought 2 shotguns and went and just killed their parents. That's how the media portrayed it, right? No, there was a lot of psychological damage that was done to these boys. If you haven't seen it, I don't want to ruin it for you, but you need to watch the Netflix series on the
Monsters.
Oh, yeah, it's called Monsters, yeah.
Monsters.
And you need to just watch it is all I'm saying, because I thought they were just a couple of spoiled rich pricks.
And they were, but
yeah. And but there was a lot of underlying circumstances behind it also.
Things that happened in their life that, I mean, we can't say it was understandable, but it was definitely a move in a direction that you can kind of understand.
Correct.
Why they were placed in such a
volatile situation. Yeah. I still don't think I would have shot and killed my mom. I hope not. But Jesus Christ, when you talk about these psychological factors and stuff like that, it's serious.
Yeah.
Environmental influences. 60% of kids in violent homes display aggressive behavior. Social media is linked to increased bullying and aggravation in 40% of these cases. So when you talk about the social media impact on kids with the bullying and online bullying and in-school bullying and stuff like that, that has a 40% increase in how these kids act. And then also 60% of the kids in violent homes display 60% of kids in violent homes. That means mom beating on dad, dad beating on wife or kids or something like that. 60% of these kids that are in these situations hurt others. You know, they say hurt hurts, you know, so that's what it is. And number 3, developmental stages. 85% of children show emotional aggression, and 15% may develop concerning behaviors. So 85% of them show that type of emotional aggression like that.
And just in case you guys understand what the developmental stages mean, that's like for the younger kid learning. He's learning. He's in a stage, or she's in a stage where everything they see, they pick up on. They don't quite understand it yet. I don't understand why mommy hollers at daddy. I don't understand why daddy pops mommy upside the head. And, you know, they're in that learning stage, and that's that developmental. They're trying to figure out, is this right or wrong?
Right.
They don't know.
Right.
That's why you see some kids that, I mean, like they've never been anywhere in the world. You present something in front of them, they don't know what to do.
They're obsolete to it. Right.
Obsolete.
And they just see daddy smacking mama or mama hitting daddy over the head with an ashtray, and then hurts because then they think that's acceptable. I know a girl who, true story. I know a girl who got beat over the head with an ashtray and got killed in Ohio. Yeah, that's why ashtray comes to mind with me. Jesus. What were you thinking of?
I don't know, bottle or something.
Oh, yeah. No. That's a true story. A young lady that I knew, yeah, she used to bully her boyfriend all the time and talk down to him. And that's why I say you got to be careful how you treat people.
Yes.
You got to be careful how you treat people. And he just snapped.
Yeah, people can snap.
And he picked up an ashtray and he beat this girl's face in with it.
It's real. And here's a real scenario for you guys. And I want you to think about this because it's happening to some of you, and you're not gonna know why until I say it right now. You're at home, ladies, and your husband doesn't. You see him come home, but he doesn't walk in the house for 20 minutes. That's his peace.
That's his peace. He's Musan.
He's attempting not to snap because he's at that point.
Right.
And he's trying to gain peace before he comes into a situation where peace is now taken away from him. Remember what he just said. People are on the verge, and this could be vice versa, the woman versus the man, but they're on that verge to where they're at the snapping moment, and you take them over the edge. And
that's why I say, people ask me how I've made it through 18 years of a relationship and marriage. And I could tell you this here is learning how to shut the fuck up and shut your mouth and just go on about your business. And sometimes you're right and you just got to take it. Sometimes she's right. But one thing I can honestly say is that we've never in 18 years ever even thought about putting our hands on each other. She might have thought about putting her hands on me.
Right.
She might want to knock the shit out of me.
It's always done.
She might want to knock the shit out of me 1 or 2 times. Right. But obviously it's been a good ride. Okay, so all right, you take the next one.
All right, so parental options and support, because the important part when we're talking about kids are the parents or the support system. Maybe may not be parents, but whoever their support system is. Number one is to recognize the signs. This is this is beyond reproach right here in today's world, because these kids have all been, look, the parents or whoever come on TV and say, we didn't know.
We had no idea.
We didn't see the signs.
No idea.
You have to see the signs. It says recognizing the signs. 50% of parents report difficulty recognizing behavioral issues. Why? Because they want to be friends instead of parents.
That's right.
They want to be cool instead of the person who has the discipline.
And they're letting the video games raise the kids. They're letting the streets raise the kids, all this other stuff. They're doing everything but parenting.
2 or 3 in the morning, and that's cool. It's all right. You ain't got to get up for school in the morning at 6 o'clock, but you up to 2 or 3 in the morning.
That's right.
It says early intervention reduces severe behavior by 60%. That means when you are recognizing these issues and you are taking some type of action, you got to take action, not just recognizing it, but actually doing something when you recognize it will reduce behavior by 60%. Number 2, strategies for communication, because a lot of parents out here don't know how to talk to their kids. Again, you're trying to be the cool parent, the friend, the homie. None of that can happen until it's time to happen. If I'm taking my kid to a baseball game, basketball game, we're sitting there enjoying the game, that's our time to be cool. When it's homework time, work time, chore time, it's time for you to be a darn parent. It says open dialogue decreases risky behavior by 30%. Ask your kids questions. Know what they're thinking. Know what they want to tell you. I've been accused, and I have to listen of my kid being hard to come talk to. Why? Because daddy has always been militant. I'm militant. I do not want to hear excuses. If you were supposed to do something, I need to know why you didn't without you trying to scapegoat the plan. I need to know.
So you're a hard ass, basically.
The guy don't skip it. But I personally can see the difference in my children versus other children looking at in today's world.
That's right.
That they're completely different. They can go out and be on their own if they wanted to. And that's basically what they're doing, they're being independent. It says family therapy shows a 70% improvement in family dynamics. A lot of people don't think they need to go to what's called a shrink, right? They don't think they need a doctor to talk to them. But let me tell you, a lot of people benefit from talking to other people that are like outside parties that don't judge them, right? They benefit a lot, and it shows by statistics that 70% improvement happens when you're able to do that. All right. Number 3, programs for support. Access to community health services. It says that 30% of parents are unaware. Like we just talked about this. They either pretend to be unaware that the child is experiencing something, or they truly are unaware.
Well, okay, so let's just roll back just 2 weeks. Episode 12. We talked about the school shootings that just happened. and about how this kid was on the FBI's watch list.
That's correct. Yep, that's correct.
And that they went to his house, they interviewed this kid. They didn't have anything on this kid because my mom was like, well, why didn't they lock this kid up? Well, in America, we got to have things called proof. You got to break a law. You got to do something to be arrested for. Mm-hmm. They didn't have anything. So look, who would know years later? But I tell you who would know is the damn parent. Because the parent bought him the damn rifle for a birthday gift. Mm-hmm. And then look what happens.
Correct, yeah. And I'll just give you an example. So my kids grew up, I would say, as early as the age of 3, being taught that a firearm is a real thing. Mm-hmm. It damages, it hurts, and it can do bad things to people. So from 3 years old, not only were they taught that it was a weapon, but they were taught how to utilize it and never to touch it because it causes harm.
That's right.
So therefore, the years further, I was able to sit those guns out on the table, walk away, and never have to worry about it. Well, fast forward to today's date, I've been around children that I told the parents I would never trust training that child with a gun just yet because they're not ready. And these are 15-year-olds, 12-year-olds.
But you were teaching your kids to shoot at a very young age.
Yeah, 3 years old.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. I taught my kids to shoot at a very young age too. You got to have your finger on the pulse. This is not, sweetheart, this isn't Jeff. This is Steve over here. Kate, Spark, Jeff's out on personal time right now. He should be back next week. So this is Steve. This is another good friend of the show. Very knowledgeable person. Over 25 years in the game also.
Okay.
What did he say?
He said, don't you think parents really play a key role in the behavior of the kids? And yes, I do believe
Absolutely.
So. However, kids are going to be kids. But as long as you have put forth a very, very stern effort to make sure that they are learning something from you that they can benefit from and hold on to, I think you'll have a better child. Because here's the problem. They go to school. They're around social beings. And unfortunately, when social beings can attach to your child and your child is
easily influenced.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Influenced very easily, you're going to have problems anyway. Now, does it mean that they're going to lead to be these kids? No, it don't mean that. So, like you said, a parent playing a key role. And here's the problem, and I'm guilty of it too. We didn't go out and play ball anymore with the kids, kick the ball around, throwing baseballs. And some people still do, but I was guilty of not doing it enough, And so I think we lose touch of that. And, kids.
Well, even, I'm going to tell you honest to God truth. So my wife and I, she had 5 kids. I had 5 kids. And it was like a blended family. It was a blended family, man. When I tell you, you would think that the kids, my kids and her kids I was their dad, real blood dad, and she was that's how well they got along. That's a rarity. We understand that. But I'll tell you this here. There's not a day that goes by that I don't see my kids, and maybe, some of y'all saying this is soft or whatever, but there's not a day that I don't go by that I don't hug my kids and kiss them on the forehead and let them know I love you, because it may be the last time. Now, as black men, sometimes we think that may be a little, a little soft.
The problem is on the internet right now, if they see that, like, look at The Game, right? The Game, the rapper, and his daughter has such a great relationship, so close. And people weirded out over the internet. Oh, that's so weird. I can't believe he's kissing his daughter like that, holding his daughter like that. He's being a real father.
That's a real father. How else do they know how to love?
Strange from that now. Now they're seeking it from the stranger instead of from the parent.
But my thing is that how are the kids, black, white, Spanish, how are they supposed to know what love feel like, if we, as the parents, don't show them?
Correct. Yeah.
They won't get it.
Yeah, and then again, that's when you go out and get the influence from the outside, no matter it be violence, sexuality, just all kind of crazy stuff. It's going to come from there because it didn't come from the parent. All right, it says, last part of that, programs for support. Parenting classes can reduce behavior issues by 40%.
Right. Okay. Okay. Now the next slide is very important. Yes. Thank you guys for liking the program. Denise, Dennis. Hey, how you doing? Jacoby, I see you. Kate, I see you. I see all my people in here.
Why you get alerts last week? We were down because of the hurricanes last week.
Oh yeah. We were down across the hurricanes. I didn't see that. Yeah, we got hit here up north with the hurricanes, and there was a lot of life lost in Georgia. So pray for those people. But yeah, we were down for the thing. We did a rerun of episode, I think 6 or something like that last week because we just didn't want to take the chance to brother be safe and sorry. Okay, next slide. This is important because a lot of us is going to maybe differ on this a little bit. When kids kill, do we look at incarceration versus psychiatric facilities? Okay, so let's get into it. The juvenile justice system, which some may call a joke, all right, 60% of youth offenders are incarcerated, but 80% exhibit mental health issues. I can't read today, okay? So when these traumatic incidences happen, 60% of youth offenders are incarcerated behind it, but 80% exhibit mental health issues. So is it a jail thing or is it a psychiatric thing?
Right, because they're already going into there with the issues.
Right.
Because you got there in the first place, and then when you're there, they are examining you only to find that 80% of you
have mental health issues anyway, because jail is not a psychiatric facility. So
it was once said, or they still say, to be a rehabilitation. However,
right. We don't know about that.
Yeah.
But if you're really trying to get that child help, if he's done a horrendous act, like the school shootings and stuff like that, should he be jailed and charged as an adult? In my opinion, I don't have no sympathy for him because I think you know right from wrong.
Yeah.
And I think that there are plenty of people out here with mental conditions who do not grab a gun and go through and shoot up a whole fucking school. So I think he should be charged as an adult and spend the rest of his life in jail. That's what I really think. Now, some people may differ and say that, well, he's only a child and his mind hasn't fully developed yet. Then one would also argue is developed enough to pick up a gun and go kill everybody in the damn school.
And here's the thing, and that's something I was thinking about the other day. Just kind of, what I do every day, I deal with a lot of people, so I get to talk to a lot of people. And what I find is that there are some kids, 12, 5, 6, that will curse your ass out and know how to put it together like a 40-year-old sailor.
Flawlessly.
40-year-old sailor. But then there's 15, 16-year-olds who are still dumbfounded to the word hell.
Right.
Right? Why? Because they didn't experience it. Right? You honestly, you could take a child all the way up to an adult that has never been brought around any type of sexuality. Mom and dad didn't really display it in front of them. All they did was hug and kiss, small kisses, nothing too crazy. And then at the age of 20, they're still a virgin. They're still living life. And these people that are tainted, is what I would say. We're not going to call you tainted, but we're just going to use that as an example right now. Come around this person and they see them and it's weird to them. When in reality, they were just brought up differently. They were taught differently. You actually are the problem because you had all these tainted things from what he read earlier, a violent home. You don't call violent home just because they don't got to just hit you or anything else. Cursing could be violence. You know, seeing the sexuality could be violence because to a child, those things shouldn't be displayed in front of them until it's time. But some parents think that my child needs to know this stuff.
Well, some people, which is a topic of a whole other different subject of, should my child be allowed to turn from girl to boy and boy to girl and all that stuff. Stuff we don't even want to get into right now, but still. Okay, number 2, rehabilitation programs, psychiatric facilities. Now listen to this, guys. psychiatric facilities have a 50% success rate in reducing recidivism. I can never get that word out. Recidivism. In other words, recycling.
Okay.
Recycling. Yeah.
Recidivism.
Help me out, producer.
Recidivism.
Yeah, y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't even had no whooper today.
I can read it.
Recidivism rates by 30%. Okay, so basically what it's saying is the psychiatric facilities have about 0.5% success rate. You go in the psychiatric facility, about half the time you're going to be able to get your mind right. Incarceration has about a 30% chance of that. Okay, psychological effects.
Let me hold on before you go there. So for number 2, the end all be all, based on statistics and based on the facts, it says that talking to your children is a lot better than us putting them in jail. That's what it boils down to. Talk to your darn children, get them the help that they need.
Yep. Ask the question. Someone said, I got a question. Ask your question.
Let's hear it.
Let's hear your question. That's what we're here for. Aziz, that's what we're here for, brother. Let's go. Okay, number 3, psychological effects. 70% of incarcerated youth suffer from PTSD. How many times have we heard that word, people? PTSD. Cops, military, wives, husband, children. All right, compared to 30% in rehab facilities.
And to touch on PTSD, so you understand what it means, because some people may not understand what the acronym means. It's post-traumatic stress, syndrome disorder or stress disorder, right? So it basically means that you have had a traumatic incident. Some people in the military, it was being bombed in a car, right? Walking on a landmine. For others, it's just being screamed at every night by mom and dad.
Correct.
Right? That's that PTSD. Or hearing mom and dad fight every night. That's the PTSD. And so your PTSD may be different than somebody else's. It does not downplay your situation, but it needs to be handled psychiatrically, for these percentages to become even better for a success rate. All right. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about legal rights and self-defense. We should still wait on that question. There it is. All right.
Okay. Pull up Aziz's question.
What is the right age for a kid that commits an offense to be punishable? Okay. And it says, if he committed an offense such as killing, what will be counted as according to the law? So,
good question. That's an excellent question.
But you can have 2 different answers to the same question. I'll tell you why. We can't make that decision.
Right.
Courts and juries get to decide on those type of issues. So a kid can be as young as 12 years old.
And psychologists also.
Yeah, psychologists. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're in court for the kids, guardian items and things of that nature to make those decisions and tells the courts, did that kid understand what they were doing? Truly.
Right.
Right? I was going to say no. I mean, because they're there for the kid. And they don't want to see, a lot of times they don't want to see the kid go up the creek as an adult for some of the things that they've done. But like you said, for a killing, somebody as young as 11 can be sent to jail as an adult, depending on the crime. So something like what just occurred.
So they would have to, on something like you have an 11-year-old that does a heinous crime and kills someone. Mom, dad, shoot up the school, something like that. The courts are going to first look at that child's mental capability.
The history.
The history of that child, everything like that, okay? Before they determine whether they're going to charge him as an adult or a child. Now, the big difference between adult and child, if they charge as a child at 18 years old, that record gets sealed, right? If they charge as an adult, then just we'll see you when we see you. The charges just stick if you're convicted, okay? So those are the 2 fundamental differences, the major fundamental differences when you're talking about if a child commits a murder, a heinous act, or if an adult commits a heinous act. And if you're asking the appropriate age, that's a very difficult question to answer right there because, I mean, how young and we ask ourselves as cops ourselves this question, you look at a child and you see a child, but could that child kill you, right? So we ask ourselves, how young is too young to be a murderer?
There's no such thing.
There's no such thing.
Yeah, because I mean, it happened, right?
Yeah, it happens. 10, 11-year-olds are doing this stuff. So that's a very difficult question, but 99% of that's going to be up to the courts, psychologists, guardian lights and stuff like that. That's going to be able to answer that what's the right age for a kid who commits an offense to be punished if he commits an offense such as killing, and what will be counted according to the law. So if they're going to follow the law, they're going to follow all that other good stuff when it comes to that. And it's a whole big process because juveniles involved in it and all that other good stuff.
And here's the problem. They're going to send them to the real jail, just not letting them have access to
youth detention probably starting off.
Really?
Yeah. So
judges threatened that they're going to send them to
right.
Yeah.
But when the crime first happens, your first stop is going to probably be a RYDC or something like that, even if it's for murder, stuff like that, until they determine whether you're able to stand trial as an adult or as a child, because they're not going to put an 11-year-old in a big jail with the rest of the adults. But they will put you in RYDC until it's determined whether or not that, or when you turn 18, do you then go over to the big jail then? You see what I'm saying? Right. So just because you are not found that, okay, fine, you can stay in RYDC. That doesn't mean when you turn 18, you don't go to big boy jail. Don't stop. So, murder's murder, and murder is period forever. Right. That's why I say people are making split-second decisions and making permanent decisions on temporary shit. Yeah, so I get it, you're mad. So I get it, you had an argument with this guy. I get it, this guy called you a punk, a bitch, or whatever. I get it. Why do we always have to pick up a damn gun and shoot someone?
Yeah, remember, 2 minutes of your life is going to turn into a lifetime of pain, because you're not just affecting yourself, and they're not just affecting themselves. They're affecting everybody who is counting on them to be with them tomorrow, right? But once that happens, you're done. It's like looking at the Menendez, bro. Like I said, we don't want to give it away if you haven't watched the show or if you don't know the case. But they went from being super rich, millionaires, to being in jail the next day. And they were so used to what they were used to, of course, they started going crazy, right? Well, it was already crazy, but they started having that mental aspect of craziness, where it's driving them up the wall because you can't have your caviar, you can't have your limo that you use.
And they're seeing roaches and rats in the jail, and they're just freaking out. You got to watch it. He also says, now I got a better, clear understanding of it. I asked because I heard of a kid around 9 years old who mistook his father's guns for a toy and shot his friend dead.
Okay, so that wouldn't be murder, that would be manslaughter.
Right.
So the courts may treat that a little bit different, and they actually would arrest the father, not so much the child.
Because you're still responsible for that gun.
Right.
And that 9-year-old is just a 9-year-old.
Right, yeah.
So he done seen Starsky and Hutch, he done seen all these shoot 'em dead movies and stuff like that. So does that child really have the capability, the mindset to know that he's doing a serious crime like that? Probably not.
And here's the thing: the prosecutors are not going to go at the 9-year-old the way they would an adult and say, "You knew that gun was dangerous, didn't you? You knew." No, they're not going to do that because the father should have had the gun locked up. I mean, that's point blank. Just like in this case, that's why they locked up Dylan Roof's, whatever his guy's name, not Dylan Roof, but Cox, whatever his name is, the one that just did the recent school shooting. That's why they locked up his father.
Oh, that's right.
That gun should have been locked up. It should not have been accessible to him, which is why I have fingerprint locks on all my doors. You cannot access my guns unless I give you access to my guns. And if I give you access, lock me up, cops. Yes.
That's right.
But if he broke into my room, you're not going to charge me with something because I put every aspect of security rings so that they could not access my stuff. They were just a bad mother effer to get inside my stuff, and access
and just
guns.
doing them, right?
Yeah. So, those things are different. So we're gonna move on.
Yeah, we move on.
Right, let's go.
Legal rights for the parents.
Legal rights and self-defense, right?
Oh, hold on. Someone said what? What did he say? Who said that? East what? What did he say?
Is that
the American flag is on the wrong side. Oh, it is? I don't know. It's been over here for forever.
You might be looking at it wrong.
It may be reversed on the thing, but it's always been behind me. I love the American flag behind me. It just makes me feel so American. Okay. All right. Okay.
Legal rights.
All right. Legal rights.
All right. Legal rights and self-defense. All right. Number one, it says OCGA code reference sections, right? 16.321, of course, is the self-defense law, right? It said the parents would have the right to defend themselves and their children from imminent harm, right? And that would be if something was happening, in a case where, any type of violence was brought to them. Number two, understanding the legal framework. And let's go back to that. I didn't really explain. So 16.321 is the self-defense law in the state of Georgia. It says I can protect myself and a third party so long as the threat is imminent and can cause serious bodily harm or death to me or a third party. Imminent means what?
Right away.
Right now.
So that means if someone called my kid a punk bitch, I can't get my gun and shoot him.
Can't go to school and go slap a hoe and beat him and shoot him. I mean, and that's what people think.
That's what they think.
He slapped my son, so I went home, I grabbed
my gun and I shot him.
That ain't how it works. Or I saw the guy break into my house. When I shot him, he was 5 houses up the road.
Correct. I chased him down and I shot him in the back, or I shot him.
Can't do it. It ain't self-defense.
You can't do it. It's not self-defense. It has to be immediate.
Yeah.
Immediate, right now.
Right now.
The law is going to judge you of what is happening right now.
And here's the problem. Most of you guys, and this is no insult to you, but this is real. Most of you guys, and go read the definition after I say this so you won't get offended. Most of you are ignorant to not keep your mouth open, right? You guys will spill like a faucet and tell the police everything.
You mean keep your mouth shut?
Yeah.
You mean keep your mouth shut?
Right. But they're going to keep their mouth. They're going to say everything.
Oh, yeah. Right.
They're going to vomit it. It's everything coming out because you don't know how not to not do it.
Now, we as police like that. I just had a situation the other day. It was a thing where this lady just blurted and she just kept talking and talking and talking. My job as the police is not to tell you, hey, shut the hell up.
No, it's to listen.
My job is to shut up and just listen because everything's being recorded. And she's going on and on. I knew I shouldn't have came here. I knew I shouldn't have listened to you. We got in that car. If we knew we was going to steal and this and that and that. And she's just bop, 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 running her mouth. And it's just all on body camera for them to go back and review it in court. So learn how to exercise your rights and shut the hell up. That's the first thing I would tell my kid. First thing I tell my kid, anything, comply with the officer and shut the hell up. Okay.
I want y'all to know what that means. So it's called the Fifth Amendment.
The Fifth Amendment, right.
It means I have the right to remain silent and not incriminate myself.
That's right.
You can say something.
Right.
But you have the right to remain silent and not incriminate your damn
self. And
also,
under this section code 16.321, understand this, is that not unless you are law enforcement and you use deadly force against someone, you will probably end up in someone's jail cell about 90% of the time. You're going to probably get arrested. Not unless you have video evidence that's so overwhelming that we just know it's self-defense hands down, then okay, that's a little different story. Right? But if it's my word against a dead person's word or my word against other witnesses' words, and they're saying we're here arguing and acting a fool, and I done grabbed a gun and shot someone, and then now I'm claiming 16.321, you're going to have to articulate that and argue that out in a court of law. But don't think you're not going to be arrested behind it. Also,
you're more than likely to end up in a.
That's why we're saying
detective's office for sure.
Right. That's why we're saying that. Yeah, under 16.321, yes, is a justifiable defense to shoot in defense of myself or another person or a third person. But understand something. And this really goes to your security officers out there and stuff like that. Also, that you're going to probably end up in the back of someone's patrol car in cuffs and down in homicide and probably in jail until you can make bail, and you're going to have to go through the whole thing. Now, does that actually mean you're going to be convicted of it? Nope. Does not mean that at all. Does not mean that at all. That's why you get your attorneys and you shut the hell up, because anything that you say, spontaneous utterance is what we call it. Okay, I'll give you an example of that. Here's spontaneous utterance. Yeah, I shot that motherfucker. He was fucking my wife. Yeah, I shot that punk bitch. And it's right there on my body camera. That's spontaneous utterance right there. It doesn't make a difference whether this guy had, maybe a gun or something like that on him or something like that. Spontaneous utterance. It's I don't have to ask you nothing. It's just something that you just said. So that's why I say that, yes, if something like that happens, I would give the officer the bare amount of information, even as police officers. When we get into shootings, this is the reason why a lot of times they will get us to the hospital. They'll have us go to the hospital because then they can't ask you questions at the hospital, really, right? It becomes a doctor-patient, a privilege type of thing. And it gives you time to get your thoughts together of what happened.
And most good police departments have a policy where they won't allow you to speak after
a shooting like that.
Yeah, shooting or what they consider a
on-duty incident, major incident.
Like a major incident, yeah. So any type of major incident where it's going to cause your mind to lose some cells for a moment. Basically, the picture is not clear to you until you basically have had 24 hours of rest, right? Or 24 hours of thought to regain. And
in that time, that's when you need to be calling your FOP representative and all that other stuff, really getting your story together because, it could go sideways for you. But even police, we know that, listen, I made a traffic stop. I walked up on the car. The guy shot at me. I shot back 5 or 6 times, and I ran for cover.
Yeah, that's all I can tell you.
That's all I can tell you right now. That's it. That's all I can tell you right now.
You talk to my attorney, talk to somebody.
That's right. That's right. And that's in the officers that are responding to that call. When you start talking like that, they really know that you have some sense about you. Now, it's a little different if you got 2 pounds of weed in the car and stolen guns and stuff like that, then you're going to have a problem. Okay? You're going to have a problem altogether. So just act like you got some sense. You should be fine. Okay.
Yeah. And number 2, so we talk about understanding the legal framework, right? So 75% of parents are unaware of their self-defense rights. This just happens, right? And most of the time they don't want to use it against a child, obviously. Even though they have the self-defense and they know it. It's very hard if your child is even pointing a gun at you, bringing a knife to you. Right. It's going to be hard to respond. For me, on the other hand, that's no story. But
well, I'm going to tell you what. I was trying to find a video for you guys last week of this. It was a real life scenario. Officer gets called to a domestic, and this 18-year-old boy was living with his grandfather, and the officer comes in the door. The boy. The grandpa lets him in the door. The cop comes in just inside the door. The boy's standing to the left of his grandfather, and the cop is yelling at the boy, "You put that knife down, you put that knife down, you put that knife down." And the grandfather goes, "Officer, just calm down a little bit. He's just a little upset. We go through this all the time. He's just upset." And right after he said he was just upset, that kid took that knife and stuck it through his grandfather's neck 3 times so quick. Oh, wow. So quick. And the officers already had their guns out. And when they got tangled up into it, the officer shot the kid, but one of the bullets shot the damn granddad also. Oh, it was a horrible situation.
Man.
A horrible situation. So absolutely, when you're talking about understanding the legal framework and being aware of your self-defense rights, it can go down like that.
Yeah, no, that happens fast, And that's the thing, man. Like I said, most time, even in a regular self-defense situation, we as humans respond very, very slow, untrained, right? Trained individuals respond a lot faster, but they're still slow in the whole scheme of things. Like I said, he had already stabbed him 3 times before the officer shot him. So,
and he had his gun out.
That happens fast.
Right.
All right, number 3, resources for legal assistance, right? It says 40% of families in crisis do not seek legal help. Know your rights that can empower you. And I will tell you this, and this is just my opinion. Most of them don't because of the past history of the United States and law enforcement and things of that nature. They think that something bad can happen to their child or something bad can happen to their family if they're dialing 911 and having these situations. So most of the time they don't want to involve anybody else, but it just gets worse.
Right.
And so it never gets better because they never tell anybody the situation. They don't get any type of help. And then you have those crisis moments that they just go unseen and unheard. And that's how you develop more of your problems.
So folks, listen up. Right now, we have about 5,201 people in this live stream. Thank you. Everybody, do me a favor right now. Go to askacop.live and register with us. Then come right back here, because we're going to take a quick commercial break, because we got to pay some of these bills real quick and thank Tom Pools and all that other good stuff. If you guys ever need any pool work done, need a new pool, anything like that, these guys manufacture them and make them right there. They're great people. They're good friends of the show. So stay tuned. Do not turn, punch, click that dial. We're going to be right back.
All that.
With over 50 years of experience and a perfected 100% American-made manufacturing process, Tallman Pools sets the standard for excellence in fiberglass pools, spas, and tanning ledges. That's right, our pools aren't just pools, they're works of art. Meticulously crafted to bring beauty, relaxation, and endless enjoyment to your backyard. And when it comes to quality, Tallman Pools doesn't cut corners. Ready to take the plunge? Contact Tallman Pools today at 770-478-2257 or shoot us an email at contactus@tallmanpools.com. Visit us at 8993 Tara Boulevard, Jonesboro, Georgia 30236. Tallman Pools, where luxury meets craftsmanship.
Stop. Okay, hold on a second. Pause that for just a second. Okay, I gotta set them up for this one here. Okay, so let me do this here, guys. Welcome back to the show, and we are going to do this here. Hold on. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I want it like that. Okay, welcome back to the Ask a Cop show. We're here to ask all your questions. So we talked about killer kids. Number one, we gave you legal definitions of them. We gave you some of the psychological stuff to look out for them. Now we're going to go on to something that, as police officers, we're faced with every single day. On the last segment of the show, we seen the actual drive-by that happened, and these cops ended up giving chase, pitting the car out, and they caught the guys. But I asked them, I says, what happens if you heard those gunshots on the traffic stop and that white car that blew by that stop sign was not the correct car, or was the victim somebody running from them and scared the police and they wreck out and kill someone? Y'all would have that officer's ass. That officer would be, he wouldn't be a hero, he would be toast. So it's a very split-second decision that we have to make when we're going into these situations. Now, this is some of the training that we get, and why I think it's so important with the shoot, don't shoot, because I want to show you, John Q. public, that it's not as easy as you think, because when it's really your ass on the line out there and you really are going to get a bullet put in you, stop your food intake, your sex drive, not seeing your wife, your husband, your child, your children, your Christmases, your Thanksgivings again. Oh, it get real quick. And then now you got the rest of the world sitting back Monday morning quarterbacking you, drinking their nice hot cup of coffee, talk about crime is down more than it is 50%.
Right.
I said, man, shut the hell up. What are you talking about? You don't know what you're talking about. So this is a shoot, don't shoot scenario, the best one that I can sort of find right now. Now, when we go in this scenario, I want each of you to pay attention. I want you to put yourselves in these officers' situation. Put yourself, this is the only way we learn. I wish we could have an in-studio thing where we could have you come here and really put, and those real rubber bullets really hit your ass. Right. They hurt. So, but this is a scenario, shoot, don't shoot. Okay, go ahead and roll the clip, producer.
Enforcement stop.
This is an enforcement stop.
County from 105.
Traffic enforcement.
105. We're going to be trying to make a traffic stop. We're in the 1200 block of Cameron Street. Looks like the passengers are okay. They're shooting at us. They're shooting at us. Can you start units this way?
They're shooting.
What are we gonna do? Terminate or continue? What are we gonna do?
We're gonna continue on this call just for you guys' purposes. We're gonna continue. Okay, it looks like it's about a black Honda, a dark colored Honda. It's still out southbound. Looks like there's 2 occupants in the car. They just threw the gun. Probably 1300 block. It's going to be on the west side of the street. We're still behind. Where's everyone at? Okay, it looks like the vehicle's going to be pulling over. We're about 1700 block. Right.
Now, right now, your heart is going like this. They just shot at you.
Right.
Your heart is going.
Right. I think the Superman didn't get hit.
Your heart is pounding right now. And let me tell you this here too. You're also pissed off too.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're like, this motherfucker just shot at me. He's trying to really kill me. Right? So everybody say, yeah, well, as cops, y'all shouldn't be emotional and stuff like that. Let someone shoot at you and see how happy you're gonna be with them.
Right.
Now all of a sudden these sons of guns is just pulling over too, although you've seen them. What you think was a gun being thrown out the window, do they have more guns? Huh? What? Okay, you get ready for it now. Okay, go on and roll it. Shoot, don't shoot.
Get in the car! Get in the car! Harrisburg police! Okay, we got 2 fleeing into the, looks like they're fleeing up into the woods.
Y'all let me know when y'all was shooting. Let me know when you were shooting. Type it in the chat. Type it in the chat.
Watch the wood line, looking inside.
Clear.
It looks like it's all clear. We're gonna go check the wood line.
Come up, I'll cover you.
Kind of looks like we have 2 houses here, 2 types of structures. You see anything?
Get ready to fall.
All right, there's someone behind you, behind the screen.
Okay, stop. All right. Now y'all have made contact with someone. Who's shooting and who's waiting? This is what I want to know. Who's shooting and who's waiting? Are we almost there yet? Do we got our finger on the trigger? Are we pulling back?
Y'all already scared.
You scared to death. They had already shot at you. Okay. Being a police is actually fantastic, but so risky. Yes. What are y'all gonna do? Y'all in this situation right now. Ain't no pausing. All right. Go ahead and roll it.
You behind the screen, come out.
I give up. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Step towards me.
I give
Step
up.
towards
No,
me.
please, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Step towards
Please
me.
don't shoot.
Harrisburg
I surrender.
105, we have 1 shot fired.
Okay.
He said 1 shot fire.
One shot fire, right.
Just one.
That whole thing would have been Swiss cheese, man, messing around with me.
Yeah, 1 drink. Yeah.
Okay, so people, here you go. Now, you have that scenario right there of shoot, don't shoot. And, I don't know if you can get the real effect of it like this, but this was the closest thing I could come to to not actually have y'all in a scenario where someone else is shooting back at you and you feeling those bullets hit you and stuff like that. So that was sort of the closest scenario that I can sort of get to with that. But what do you guys think about that? Would y'all have shot the individuals right there, or would you not have shot? Would you have?
And why?
And why? That's a very important question.
Why?
And why?
I have to answer why.
And absolutely why?
I have to know.
Why would you have shot? What would have? And this is my question, people, to you guys. Why would you have not shot? Why would you have shot? Did dude pop up and shoot? Yes, absolutely, he did. So there was 2 people in the vehicle when we was chasing them, and then you seen 2 people run out of the vehicle and they run into the wood lines. They obviously hopped that fence, and the officer seen the lady first, and then the dude just jumped up and just just start letting them have it. So again, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't almost in this job, because you wait too long, you dead.
Oh, you're definitely dead. And they had no reaction time there. Because the guy just popped up. You know, what do you do?
Yeah.
You know,
and then do you you could accidentally almost shoot the lady too.
Correct. And they could be lucky enough to just hit you by popping up and shooting.
Right.
You know, that's a scary
right in the
part.
head.
Yeah, just pow, you know, and you're done. Just in your general direction, and it's too late. You're done.
So we're going to talk about this in a second, about shooting and don't shooting. But it's a very, very, very dangerous thing. Shoot, don't shoot. And we're going to give you a little bit of training scenarios with this here. Because again, we're going to talk about and we're going to educate. We're going to show you the video slides. We're going to talk crap. We're going to have fun. But more importantly, we're going to educate. Okay?
And nothing you guys can do at the house. If you want to create a shoot, don't shoot scenario, you can actually create still photos. Take a bunch of still photos with a bunch of different scenarios. So imagine like somebody, elevator opening with somebody with their hands like this, nothing in their hands. Shoot, don't shoot.
I love what Smoke People TV said. Pull that up. I didn't even think about this.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
The lady was part of the setup. Now, how about that?
Of course, yeah.
Because the first thing you see when she got her hands up, you're like, oh, it's a lady, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then here come there go Bonnie, and here come Clyde popping up, shooting at you now.
And she was the distraction for sure.
So yeah, Smoke People TV, absolutely good observation, and you're absolutely right. Okay, go on to our shoot, don't shoot slide scenarios, please. Okay, shoot, don't shoot training scenarios. I'll take the first one. Introduction to shoot, don't shoot. Shoot, don't shoot training helps officers practice decision-making under stressful situations. The time to practice this is not on the street. The time to do it is in training. Okay, scenario. Simulates real-life situations, what we just seen, where officer must decide whether to shoot and use lethal force. This training reduces the risk of unnecessary violence and ensures public safety. So everything that we do when it comes to our training is based upon your safety. If an officer does not train for these scenarios and the only time he gets real life interaction is with you, John Q. Public, that's pretty damn scary. That's pretty fucking scary to me. All right, so yeah, I want them to have these shoot, don't shoot scenarios. Okay, number two. We're going to move a little faster. We're going to get through these a little quicker because we already been 1 hour and 22 minutes in. Thank y'all for listening up. 5,000. Damn, going still 5,922 people.
Nice.
Thank you. Like and share. We love y'all. Yeah.
So it's 3 already. Okay, content.
I'm gonna quit, Jack.
Law enforcement officers face life-threatening situations that demand instant decisions. We saw that, right? Even though you may have a smaller screen, you couldn't really see it. You did notice that the dude jumped out of nowhere. This decision, there's no thinking. You gotta react. You either gotta get behind that tree or you gotta fire a shot. That's the only two options. Quick judgment in the moment of extreme stress can mean life or death for officers and civilians. And here's the problem. The court of public opinion does not allow you to rewind and say, could you have done it differently? No, in the moment I couldn't have. I made the decision I made. I had to stick with it. I'm here now. So either I'm a bad guy and I'm going to jail and going to court, or I did the right thing and you guys are going to judge me anyway.
And that's when we talked about making the decision to use deadly force right then. Immediate, imminent threat. Imminent. That was imminent, what we just seen on that video. Imminent. There was no pausing, no nothing. It was right there right away.
Just happened.
So it just happens. Okay.
All right. So federal laws, such as the 4th Amendment and state regulations, dictate the acceptable use of force, which we already talked about. But of course, when we talk about the 4th Amendment and all those other things, it's talking about things like, seizing people. If you shoot somebody, you just seize them, right? Or if you shot at somebody, it could cause seizure because they're not going to move. So these things are necessary to think about, even as you as a civilian, to say to yourself, okay, if I point a gun at somebody, have I just disrupted their 4th Amendment by, 4th Amendment rights? And technically, yes.
And technically, you have.
Yeah, because if they didn't do anything, you are now going to go to jail and can possibly face a civil lawsuit and civil litigation under the Fourth Amendment.
Welcome to this thing we call law enforcement. Okay, slide number 4. Stressors in law enforcement. Content. According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, officers face unique stressors like exposure to violence, hostile interactions, and long shifts. How many times have we talked about this? Hostile interactions, that we go from call to call to call to call to call to call to call, violent call to violent call. But no one's calling us in their time of happiness. No one's calling us to say that, hey, I just proposed to my girlfriend, officer, right? Hostile interactions, exposure to violence, and long shifts. Everybody's understaffed, overworked, underpaid, all that other good stuff. These stressors contribute to high levels of mental and physical fatigue. Managing these pressures is essential for effective policing. Okay?
All right. The role of shoot, don't shoot training in reducing stress. And I'll tell you that I've done a lot of shoot, don't shoot scenarios, but I also have done a lot of stressor training for officers just so they can understand what the body shutdown feels like under stress and under fatigue when it's time to hit that go button. Because reality is you do not know when it's coming, and you need to know how your body will respond, because a lot of people, including officers, have gone into the flinch mode. And it's the worst feeling in the world. It's like having, for some of you might recognize the paralysis in your sleep type feeling where you can't move.
You can't move.
You're seeing everything, you're paralyzed, and no actions are coming out of your body.
Right.
And you're like, what the hell is going on? I can't believe this.
Right.
And you're saying it in your mind, slow motion, but it's not happening. And this is a real thing, and it happens to civilians and police alike. I've seen a female cop pull out her gun, the one where the guy was underneath the apartment thing, and the officer approached him. He said, man, don't shoot me, don't shoot me. Had his gun out and everything. And he's backing up away from the guy, and he keeps telling the guy, don't shoot me. And the guy's like, man, you're a fucking rookie.
Right.
You're a rookie, but he's approaching them.
Right. And
he's like, man, I should take your gun and shoot you.
Right.
But the guy ends up running off or something. I can't remember exactly what happened at the end. But this officer went into that fright mode where he couldn't do anything.
Up.
Even though he had a gun in his hand, the guy that was approaching him had a gun. He didn't respond. All right. So it says continuing training prepares officers to handle stress more effectively. And it does. You got to train your body, you're not a civilian, train your body to be able to do it. And it's also a psyche thing. It's a mental stress thing that will allow you to actually defend yourself against another person. It says familiarity with shoot, don't shoot scenarios improve decision making. It's very important. And reducing mental burden in real life situations. And it says reducing mistakes increases public trust in law enforcement. This is why they want officers to be trained, but they want to take the training money from the officers, Kamala.
Right.
Defund the police.
They want to defund the police.
Defund the police. If you defund, you're taking away
training money, budgets, everything else.
So, and just
they're giving us heartache about Copland here in Atlanta.
That's what I'm saying. They will not let it come up. And it's a training facility.
It's a training facility. So these horrible incidents of these, what we hear about, what grotesque us every day, don't happen. So I don't understand it. It's like you don't want the training facility, but you want cops to be this perfect people, but you don't want us to train to do it. You don't want us to get the budget to do it. You want us to break us over the coals when we do one thing wrong. And I get it. Policing is something that you can't get wrong. But at the end of the day, these men and women behind the badge are human beings, and they're fallible. They're fallible. So we have to train like never before. We have to train on culture sensitivity. We have to get to know each other. This is what's so important about the Ask a Cop show. I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. We've tried arguing with the police. We've tried fighting with the police. We've tried riding with the police. How about this? Let's sit down and get to know each other. Let's sit down and talk in a forum like this, where you ask me questions, I get to ask you questions, and maybe, just maybe, we get to know each other. We get to know, hey, that's just Daryll. He's not a asshole cop. He's, he may be a little weird sometimes, but he's all right. He's a good guy. Okay. So this is why this show is so important. Okay, it's why we want to get it picked up by a big major network somewhere. I don't understand what's so hard about this.
No.
Just like I think people just want to have us in turmoil. I really believe that. I don't know why. It makes great ratings for their papers or whatever. I don't know. Okay, federal and state law and the use of force. Content. The Fourth Amendment governs the use of force, allowing officers to act within reasonable. The key word there is what, people? Type reasonable in the chat for me. Type reasonable in the chat for me. If you're watching right now, type reasonable in the chat for me. Reasonable, 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 reasonable. Okay? The Fourth Amendment governs the use of force, allowing officers within reasonable guidelines. Various state laws provide additional guidelines, with many states adopting the use of force statutes. Okay? Training helps officers stay within these legal bounds while protecting themselves and others. Okay? Real simple. Federal and state law protects us against that. Okay? Number 7.
All right, he said police got a bad rap.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
He said police got a bad rap because of the good ones that don't call out the bad ones. The police don't police themselves. Some do. I used to. Found out that it was definitely not a good idea for the most part.
We're going to talk about it in just a minute.
This comes from a guy who thinks defund the police is extremely stupid. Yeah, I mean, I get it, man. And it is stupid because there's only 2 people you call on when you're in trouble. That's God and the police.
Yep.
That's the first 2 people you call on when you're in extreme trouble and you need something quickly. It's going to be God and the police. Even the gangster wannabes that think that they don't need it.
Or even the hardcore gangsters, right?
Somebody call 911.
Right. I'm going to talk to you, Smoke People TV, for just a second, because you kicking some real true stuff right now. We do got a bad rap because of the good ones don't call out the bad ones. Now, let's talk about that for just a second. Back in the day, you're right. It was cops on one side, everybody else on the other side, the thin blue line. It's sort of changing now. It's sort of changing because you've got now cops who's saying, I don't get a chance to go home at the end of my shift. I can't go to my family picnics. I got to work all this overtime. I got to do this because now they're rioting in the streets. They got us on 24-hour mandatory overtime. They got us on this, all this other shit because you on your bullshit. You're on your racist bullshit, or you're on your power tripping or whatever. So there are a lot of other cops who are checking other cops now and like, hey, man, let that shit go.
Right.
Hey, I'm sorry, but fuck him. Let him go. Let him talk shit. I don't give a fuck. Let him talk shit. Let's go. I have told officers, get back in your car and let's go. And we've left motherfuckers on the side of the road talking shit about us because all they want is a reaction.
That's it.
So, yes, back in the day, it used to be. Now you've got police chiefs, commanders and stuff like that calling out officers when they do wrong now. They're releasing body camera footage now quicker than what they ever have. Okay? Because remember, they used to always hit us with, it's under investigation. We can't let it go because it's under investigation. Well, no more of that shit now. Because motherfuckers are sick and tired of it. They rioting and tearing shit up and all this other stuff. So yeah, let's get that body. If the officer's right, I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. If the officer's right, he's right. If the officer's wrong, he's wrong. Period, point blank. So if the officer's right and that idiot just got shot, then you just got shot. I don't know what to tell you. You shouldn't have been damn doing what the hell you was doing. Black, white, purple, or whatever, right? If the officer's wrong, then he needs to go to jail for the rest of his life because we don't get to accidentally shoot someone because we're scared of black people or whatever the cause may be. Right. We don't get a do-over. There is no forgiving. This guy is dead the rest of his life. So yeah, I take it very serious. So yeah, you're right. Police don't police themselves. Yeah, we do. Back in the day, we did not. It was that thin blue line. And this comes from a guy who thinks defunding the police is stupid. Yeah, I agree with you on that last part, but I want to make sure, Smoke People TV, I break down your question because that's what we're about, getting the questions and delivering the answers to you. So I hope that answered your question. Okay. Number 7 on you.
All right. I said real life example, Donald Trump assassination attempt, right? July 13th, 2024 and September 15th, former President Donald Trump survived an assassination attempt at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. We all know about that. We all heard about that. Head position at the perfect placement at the perfect time. Quick response from trained law enforcement officers prevented more tragedy, I would say, showcasing the importance of decision-making in high-stress scenarios. Because I think that this guy would have continued to shoot had he not been put into that scope and popped when he did. Now, did they have scope on him earlier? No one will be able to know. There's no one that can tell us yes or no to that question except for the people who were looking through the scope. But you did see video of the guy second-guess himself and come back into that scope and then take the shot. Well, of course, you don't see the shot being taken because they don't show that video.
So I want to say something else also when it comes to this, because I didn't even know this was going to be in here. Our producers put it in here. We talked about this a couple segments ago. I'm going to say this again, is that since Abraham Lincoln was shot and killed, the United States of America has moved forward. Okay, this is a presidential election. This is a presidential job. No one should die for a job. No matter our differences of opinion, no matter whether you're Republican, whether you're Democrat, whatever, you are making a permanent decision on a temporary situation because he's going to be president for 4 years, or she's going to be president for 4 years, right? So don't make a permanent life-changing decision on trying to kill someone over a job. And yes, we're not going to die. Okay, we've made it this far. You got a better chance of getting hit by a bullet at a damn gas station than you got of a Kamala Harris or a Donald Trump killing you.
Right.
Okay, so stop it and quit saying that these attacks on this man is fake. Please, I'm so sick and tired of hearing that crap. I don't know who says I want to get ratings, so shoot me, just graze my ear though, but right by my head, because with a little bit of Kentucky windage either way, you could blow my fucking head off.
Right.
Get the heck out of here.
That's the part people don't understand. Everybody wants to say stage, fake. He took the shot. Let me tell you something. A shooter and an instructor for the last 20 plus years, there is no way a sane person, even an insane person, would agree for any person of any great caliber to fire a rifle at their earlobe at the perfect time where wind, like you said, wind could be a factor, movement could be a factor.
Yep.
Because what if y'all are not in sync the way you thought you were? It takes a little bit slight movement over to blow his head off.
Yep.
And he would have had to live with that. Well, let's take that back. He would not.
He couldn't have been live with it, right?
And that would have been the end of it.
And y'all give me all types of hell when I give my commentary on News Nation because I'm not 100% for Kamala, and I'm not. I'll tell you the truth. I'm not for Kamala because I don't think she is what it is. That's my opinion.
And the way they handled it,
I'm sorry. That's just my opinion.
Should be just enough.
Yeah.
To show you that they do not care about the American people.
And all this
thing. Nobody else telling you. Yeah. You should be able to see it for yourself that they don't care. So if you like them, it should be for another reason. It definitely is not for the.
I think she's a great person. President, no. I think Biden, they put me in the paper saying the headlines of the paper said, I said, Biden, great pawpaw, not president. I think he would be a great pawpaw, maybe, right? But I think he sucks as a president. Okay, and that's just the truth. And I got to stand by my gut. Okay, number 8. Let's get back on track because I can get off on this, and y'all know it. I can get on a tantrum. And I see you, Smoke People TV. I see you. Slide 8: impact of stress on officers' health. The content: chronic stress from life or death decisions can lead to burnout, PTSD. We're talking about that word again, and other health issues. Proper training includes scenario-based programs, help mitigate these effects by building confidence and reducing hesitation in critical moments. Okay? It's right there for you. Okay, number 9.
All right. The importance of public trust and accountability. Police actions in high-pressure scenarios are heavily scrutinized by the public and will continue to be. As long as they have social media and, human beings, it ain't going nowhere. Well-trained officers who make sound, lawful decisions uphold the trust between law enforcement and the community. Very hard to do, but they do it, right? Accountability is key to maintaining the legitimacy of the force in the eyes of society. Again, as long as we have social media, cell phone cameras, cell phones,
That's right.
It's always going to be a public opinion. Why? Because I can take that clip, turn it into what I want to turn it into, and post it how I want to post it.
That's
Just
right.
like Kamala keeps saying, Trump said bloodbath. It's going to be a bloodbath. They, as professionals, why are you taking a two-part words of what he said in an entire statement about energy,
Right,
and turn it into saying it's going to be a bloodbath if he loses?
But this is the type of stuff, and I hate to go back to politics on this, but this is the type of stupid stuff of the reason why I quit being a Democrat. I'm sorry. It's just the truth. I'm sorry, y'all. I love y'all. Don't hate me, but I love y'all. But this is the foolishness is why I quit being a damn Democrat and I'm an independent, because I can't deal with the buffoonery that they're giving off right now. Okay, number 10, slide 10. Conclusions, investing in officers training. Shoot, don't shoot training is essential for the safety of officers and the public. Proper training reduces mistakes, builds more trust. Professional police forces, as law enforcement faces increasingly complex situations, ongoing training is critical in maintaining peace and order. All right. So, thank you, Crocker. Thank you. Again, y'all, I want to say again, we put the Ask a Cop show on for you guys. We know all of this information, but we seen something that we said that the community can benefit from this. Instead of getting these officers on here who are giving you these pencil dick answers and beating around the bush with you, we're going to shoot straight from the hip to you.
Tough guy police.
Right, or tough guy police, right. Oh, police are always right. It's not that type of party, right? We're going to give you what the law says, and we're going to address the issues. We answer several questions on here today. We're going to take time, break your questions down, and we're going to answer them to the best of our abilities. This is what communication is all about at the Ask a Cop show. All right. So I want to, again, as we're shutting down the show, I want to encourage you guys to support the show by buying merch, your Ask a Cop t-shirts, mugs, all that other good stuff here. And I want to encourage you to stay tuned with us next week as we come back to the officer. Why do I keep saying officer keep it real? Oh my God, it's not that. It is the Ask a Cop show, for God's sakes. We're going to encourage you to come back here, and we're going to encourage you to participate and ask your questions. If you have anything over the week that you can think of, write it down, email it to us at info@askacop.live. Get it to us. We'll try our best to research it and to get you the answers. Again, my friend, Steve, I want to thank you for coming on with us again. This dude drove here last week before we knew we canceled the show. He drove here in the damn hurricane to come talk to y'all.
Boy, it was bad.
Yeah, he came here in a hurricane to come and talk to y'all.
Me and him got out and we rode to dinner like a couple exits down, and our cars were
swimming back and forth off the road. It was horrible, people.
Crazy.
But again, I'm your boy, Daryll Triplett. This is your boy, Steve Turner, here at the Ask a Cop show. Until next week, next Thursday at 8 o'clock, we're going to be back with you. Y'all take care. Love each other. Until then, we'll see you next week. All right? Peace out. Hey, show's not over with yet. No, really, for real. Thursday, 8 o'clock. Don't be late. And buy some merch, you cheaps.